Hello, guys. Today we're talking about Mars moving through the sign of Gemini, where he will be for 8 months, crazy ass long transit starting on August the 20th all the way to March 2023. Yeah, it's really, really rare. We're going to talk about the last times that did I say Mars? Yeah, Mars did his retrogradation or transit in retrograde through the signs of Gemini the last 2 times back in 2007 and 1990. And we're going to try to tie that together in your life. We're going to talk about also how this could be a harbinger of some war in the world. Stay tuned for that. Now, first of all, I'm a whole sign Hellenistic astrologer. My name is Lori Lothian, and you are here at my channel, Lunatic Astrology. We are using traditional whole sign houses, and I suggest you try casting your chart in a whole sign house system. Not hard to do. Check my free tutorial video in my description box below. And before we talk about your sign, remember your rising sign is always by far the most accurate. Don't go looking to just your sun and moon. Do try to find out the rising sign. It is most uniquely you as you kind of sliced into reality on the eastern horizon line. What zodiacal constellation was lined up against that eastern horizon at the time of your birth? That's called your ascendant, your ascending sign, or your rising sign. Okay, so to get moving, let me say a few things. First of all, Mars is a god of war. Oh, by the way, your all signs comes after the mundane look at what's possible. I'm going to do a whole separate video with some other astrologers on how this might impact the world. But if you stay tuned for the next 5 to 10 minutes, I will talk a little bit about some of the things I think could happen in the world with Mars spending this much time in Gemini. Okay. So first of all, Mars is a god of ending, separations, war. In ancient traditions of Babylon, plague. In the ancient traditions of Mesopotamia and Babylonian astrology, he's also the god of change, where we're going to have major life changes like Uranus, but with less, unexpected, chaotic suddenness. And so we're going to experience in each of our lives in our sky, wherever the whole sign house of Gemini falls area over the next 8 months, starting August 20th, of great change. Why is Mars spending so much time in Gemini? Because he will retrograde there October 30th to January 12th. I'll do a special video just on the retrogradation of 74 days. But as he is retrograding in a place in the sky where it kind of keeps him within the bounds of Gemini, it's a rare transit. The last time Mars spent this long, in fact, not even 8 months, it was 6 months in one sign instead of his normal 6 to 8 weeks, was back in his Aries transit. And it would have been, brain is off, maybe June to the end of the year 2020. So these kinds of Mars in one sign for a long time events are quite rare. So, excuse me, well, I have a snot nose. No, I don't have a cold. I have mold allergies because where I'm visiting, it's crazy moldy because of nonstop rain and humidity. So just bear with me. So one of the things I want to say is that war. If you're into the mundane astrology, which is world events, unfortunately, Gemini is the 7th house of open enemies or known enemies in the United States Sibley chart. And I've been saying even as far back as last year that given that there was an eclipse on top of 12 Sag, which is the U.S. ascendant in December 4th, 2021, with on the star, one of the war stars, Antares, it's very likely that this transit through Gemini will start the U.S. engagement in something that looks like conflict with another nation. Mars would represent the warrior or the opposing energy in the house of known enemies. So Taiwan, China, maybe. And is it, or it could still be something going on with Ukraine, Russia? Is it a, Cold War? Is it a trade war? Is it a real war? I don't know. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules marketing, merchandise, and trade. So maybe it will be just a trade war, but it's going on for like tension in the American sky is going on for a long time. Someone asked me to cover other parts of the world. Okay, so I'm in Canada. I'm Canadian. It's really hard for me to do every place in the world. So if I think something big is happening in the world, like with a world leader and stuff, I do cover it, like my Ukraine, Putin videos and all of that, or the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp trial. I cover current events, but I can't do every video covering every country. So I do default to the United States because guess what? 70% of my viewers here on this channel are from the United States. There you go. So second of all, I want to say that this Mars transit can bring endings to the area of your life that he's transiting, endings of conditions that have been in place for a while. So for example, I'll use me as an example. Mars is transiting through, I'm an Aquarius rising. He's transiting for all these months ahead through my 5th house. Now that's the house of children and separating, ending, and cutting, right? And I am planning to move to, I think, to another province in the next few months, and it will move me away from where both of my children live. Another way they could play out is if your 5th house is being transited, therefore Gemini 5th house or Aquarius rising people, or sun moon, you might have your children de-nest, they just pick up and leave the nest. Oh my God, guys, my eyes are so itchy from the mole. Oh, I just want to scratch them. And lastly, but not leastly, here's my example. So there was a retrogradation in 1990 and in 2007 at the end of the year of Mars and Gemini. In fact, I have those dates for you if you want to think back to your own path. These were shorter duration times by far. And I'm talking about the retrogradation because this is where he will retrograde again on the 30th of October through to January. And that will be a time that may replicate what I'm about to share with you as my example. So in my natal 5th house, I have the IC, which is the root of the chart. In whole sign houses, the root and the MC can float from houses 1 to 7 or 7 to 12. So mine is going through the 5th house, 11th house axis. The IC is like a 4th house energy. It represents your home. And so I moved both of those times during the October of 1990 retrogradation in Gemini between 14 degrees or starting at 14 degrees. And it lasted till December 14th. I sold a house. And because I sold the house, of course, I moved. And then later on, the next time this happened, oh, not 1990, I apologize. That was when I changed my apartment in New York City. I moved to a new apartment in New York City. Okay, got that one right. The second one that happened was in 2007, December 31st to January 30th, 2008, and I sold the house. So I can suspect, as someone who's an Aquarius rising, because my 5th house Gemini is where the root is, it will repeat a pattern of a major location, and I can actually see that coming already. Okay. What else can I tell you? You might want to go to battle wherever Mars travels, right? And because Gemini is like Jekyll Hyde, it's the twins, it's fickle, it's mutable. It's also the sign of, the immortal and the immortal twin. What part of you is like the heroic and the extra special, and what part of you inside of you is the everyday ordinary Joe or gal? And how are you, those two pieces of you, battling it out over those 8 months, But on the other hand, how are you prone to really tackle something? It doesn't have to be about arguing and fighting, but it can be. But it can be, how are you here in this world to go tackle something with gusto and heroic, measures and all of that. So for me, it might be a heroic move. It might be heroic efforts in my independent business, 5th house. When we get to the Aquarius, we'll talk about that. So let's get rolling and talk about the all signs, because I'm going to do a deep dive with other astrologers. We're going to talk about things like the stars that are involved, Al-Natak, Al-Nalam, and Aldebaran. These are powerful stars at the station points for Mars in its retrogradation. Just so you know, as of about September 3rd, Mars is going to be in the shadow period of his retrograde. Yeah, it's crazy. And it's this 8-degree mark of the sign of Gemini where he begins to cross the shadow point, because it is at 8 degrees Gemini that he will station to go direct way down the pipeline on January 12th. And he's going to be moving basically in this time frame to the 25th degree of Gemini. And that's kind of like what he's doing, right? Between now and his station retrograde at 25 Gemini on October 30th. He's racing through those first 25 degrees. He's covering a lot of territory. Then he's coming all the way back to 8 degrees on January 12th, where he will then station to go direct. So that 8-degree mark is getting a couple of hits. And so we're going to talk about that in deeper videos, but it's on a star called Aldebaran, which is an archangel. Michael, has to do with mastery of communication, a worldly success, but it's also a warrior star, just like Antares. So back to that war story. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do the all signs. I don't want to be here forever. I'm just trying to get comfortable on this outdoor deck, and let's get started. I look so puffy today, but I'm just going to deal. And that's these allergies. So what can you do? Let's get rolling. I hope I'm recording, and I'm gonna share the screen. Let me pause for a minute while I excuse my nose and get the screen running for you. Okay, so I've got everything queued up to start with Aries. Remind you that I'll be doing so many more of these videos as Mars goes through some very powerful transits over the next few weeks and months. But one of my favorites, just to give you a heads up, is this gorgeous trine of Mars trining a dignified Vena on Spica around the 18th of October. And just as a fun heads up, when I do the all signs, I'm not going to just say themes of the house. I'm going to talk about that glorious, lucky, beautiful, luscious, particularly positive sky around the 18th of October. And you're going to be feeling it from the 15th to the 21st of October. And, you know, Mars will be on two very lucky stars, Al-Nalam and Capella. And then these are just good, positive Orion's belt and another star. And then you'll have Venus on both Fortuna, the asteroid for fortune, volcano, something erupting suddenly that's fortunate. And you also have Spica, the most positive lucky star in the heavens, protection, worldly success, guardianship, and stuff like that. So October 18th for all of us is a super sweet spot. I always start with war. I'm going to make you happy here. So I will touch down for each sign on the October 18th sweet spot, as well as the theme of change of direction, choices, new action, decision making in your life based on the Gemini house of your chart on whole sign houses. Cast your chart there. This is based on your rising sign. You can listen for your sun and moon too. It will also work as well. But I will say you'll get the most juice out of your rising sign. Unless you have a stellium with the sun and moon like I do in Aries. Qualifier. All right, so let's go. See how simple the sky is looking? I check everybody else out and let's start up now. Well, guys, so here's the deal. You have Mars as your Aries rising sun and moon people sitting in the sign of Gemini. And I plunked him ahead to September 3rd because that's when he hits that shadow of the retrograde period. And this is the 8th degree on the Archangel Michael, did I say that? Yes, Michael, which is a star that has to do with worldly success. This area of the sky will come back and be very, very important, okay, in the later part of the journey of Mars through the sky, right, when he stations to go into direct motion in the beginning of January. And you're going to find that whatever is going on in your life now, all of us signs, this is going to come back again later on. So first of all, number one, you are definitely having a huge amount of change of direction, choices, actions, and decisions in the third house. Now, let's be clear. It's a trips and travel house. Mars is a journeyer. Quite often, this can look like commuting. This can look like short distance travel. This can look like a back and forth, lots of air travel, even if you want. The gist of it is you're on the go. And Mercury, this is happening in Mercury's house. And Mercury is the patron, okay, or the protector of travelers. So for a lot of people who have this Aries rising in particular, there's something about the 8 months ahead, starting August 20th, where you are doing a lot of journeying. You can also be doing a lot of writing. It's a house of writing, the house of communicating. It's a house of your siblings. Maybe you're visiting them or they're visiting you, or there's a lot of change going on in the life of a sibling or an extended family member, aunt, uncle, cousin, you know, that kind of deal. If you want to learn something, you're passionate and you're driven, the kind of learning you guys are doing, Aries, is skills-based learning, something that's a tool that you can use, and you've got all of the vim and vigor and motivation to do it. Because this is a house of siblings, aunts, uncles, and cousins. These are the kinds of people you could conflict with. This is the house of your online world. You're driving forward, making big decisions on your online platforms or websites. This is also a theme, perhaps, of where you might cut away from a neighborhood, change where you live significantly, a significant change of location regarding the neighborhood that you currently live in. So those are broad themes that are going on in that third house. Now, the other thing is that you have this beautiful October the 18th trine from Venus in Libra to this Mars in your natal third house. And on October 18th, Mars is still going direct. So that's the good news, right? And this trine is happening around 24 degrees. And so basically, Aries, sun, moon, and rising, people with anything there, sun, moon, and rising near 24 degrees, especially between 21 and 27, is really juicy for you. But all Aries will get the feeling of some lucky break here, some big fortunate development regarding things that Mars and Aries can work on together. Divinely connected romance, love and harmony, bringing peace or peace negotiations to something that was gnarly when we talk about Russia or Taiwan and China, for instance. That could be what's going on. And it's also a time where fortune is favoring you, Spica and Fortuna and Venus and her dignity in Libra, and then Mars bringing it from the third house, a fortunate trip, a fortunate gathering with a friend or a large group of people. You know, sorry, I mean, with your significant other, sorry, because Venus is in your 7th house. Your 7th house of your business partner, your audience, your marketplace, your fans, and also your love marriage partner. So for a lot of people, this is a trip with somebody that you're closely connected to, or a large busting out in terms of success when it comes to reaching some kind of audience or marketplace for your very Capricornian career path of the 10th house. That's because the 7th house is the 10th from the 10th, all right? It's a derived house tool. So I think that will hopefully explain the gist of it for you, Aries. I'd only say be careful that you don't have unnecessary battles with relatives and siblings that you can avoid. Take a chill pill, try not to get into disputes, because this too shall pass. And if you've been out of touch with a relative like that, then the retrograde can bring that contact back to you, and you'll be back in touch and maybe mending the fences later on. Yeah, retrograde is October 30th through January 12th. Moving forward in this light touch video, we have Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign people. And you can see that this is about your money. Why? Because your 2nd house is a money and earnings house. It's resources and possessions. It's your basic food needs, shelter, water, stuff being met. If you're a Taurus rising in particular, Mars is making keyword change to this part of your life. You are now in a period of shifting gears, new directions. Mars here can help you do a food elimination diet, get rid of addictions, things you put in your mouth. The face, the mouth particularly is the 2nd house. It's time to let go, eliminate, release, end those eating habits, addictive habits and patterns. And you can also find yourself speaking strongly, using your voice in a very heroic, strong, warrior-like way. Sharp words are possible. You are not suffering fools gladly in your verbal way of speaking during this long 8-month transit. Finally, sometimes, you know, we sell our possessions here. Mars is the god of eliminating, and the 2nd house is things you own. Sell a car, sell a sofa, sell a house. Well, technically it could be movable possessions, but I've seen people sell a house with Mars here. So sell a possession, something that you own, time to slim it down, lean it down, end things, okay? You can spend a lot of money with Mars here over the next 8 months, but you're spending to make money, okay? So it's a really bit of a catch-22, I would have to say. Like, you may spend a lot more than you want, you may feel a lot of money is going out, but on the other hand, with this very robust Mars, there's potentially a lot of Mars, a lot of money coming back in, particularly on October 18th. Now, that's that energy of Mars at 24 degrees of your 2nd house of earnings and money, and Venus sitting in Libra at the same degree, and they're in a flowing relationship with Venus on Fortuna, Volcano, and Spica, sudden great fortune and luck in what? In the Libra house, the work house, the debt house. If you've been under weight of mortgage debt, credit card debt, or any kind of debt, there's a liberation vibe around October 18th, of freedom and opening up of some positive developments. This is also a place of your work habits and routines, and the 2nd and the 6th connect in terms of an up level in your job, your work, a promotion, a raise, a way better job. Things are moving up for you, and it's exciting because it's such fortunate energies that are going on here. It's crazy. Even Mars is on El Nilam, one of the 3 lucky stars of Orion's belt, and Capella, which also brings success and fortune. So one of the highlights of this long journey of Mars, 8 months through the sign of Gemini, we decided to touch down on that. I will be coming back to that later for a separate video in October, but that's sort of a sweet light touch on that for you, okay? And that's about all. This is meant to be a very breezy video, giving you the latest. Gemini. All right, so Gemini, yeah, it's all about you. I mean, this is a once in a lifetime transit of Mars through the house of your body, through the house of your personality and your sense of self, and how others perceive and see you as well. So we can't even begin to underestimate the gravitas or importance of this transit if you're a Gemini rising, most specifically, and a sun and moon. If your rising sign is between 8 degrees and 25 degrees, or we could say 5 degrees and 28 degrees of Gemini, you get a lot of action really on and on and on with the retrograde cycle. Now, this can have you change, right? Mars, the god of new directions, change, and pivotal choices. You could be making massive life changes over the next 8 months, really but you're the one deciding, you're the one moving forward, you're the one in charge, right? You've got the commander in chief of Mars in your sign. And so you're really on it in terms of how you move your life forward. It can be a positive transit for having surgeries that you need to fix your body or anything like that. Just don't do it when Mars is retrograde or when Mars is near a full moon. Also, like when there's a full moon happening in the sky over these 8 months, full moons tend to lead to excessive blood loss, and where there's a retrograde, they leave the sponge inside you. So otherwise, surgery is all good for most Geminis, cosmetic or needed. You could cut people out of your life, and this could be a time where with your marriage partner or your business partner, you're throwing darts of verbal energy at them, and you may be just simply saying enough or goodbye or it's over. Not every Gemini will say this, but a lot of Geminis will find themselves in a more combative stance with their business and marriage partner. Now let's talk about how glorious and beautiful this coming up October 18th is, bringing a rare, beautiful luck and opportunity trine from Venus, the goddess of luck, and Mars. And that's going to happen in the house of luck. And it's going to happen in your 5th house, which is the house of Venus's joy. Like OMG, right? At 24 degrees of Libra, 24 degrees of Gemini. Obviously, if your rising sign, sun or moon is in that zone of 24, 21 to 27 in particular, this is so important for you. It's particularly once in a lifetime. And Venus is on Spica, the star for success and wealth and happiness and protection and luck. Fortuna, the asteroid for great fortunes, and Volcano, something erupting quickly. This can be a money luck opportunity because why? The 5th house is lottery tickets, gaming, speculation, risky investments. It's like going to the casino, a jackpot city. Venus has her joy here. She's going to try to bring it. Now it could be lucky in love as well. The romance house, lucky in love for some of you single Geminis. OMG, brand new love stories can pop up that will be outside of the bounds of something you've experienced before, just something super good. If you want your children's to, like, if you want to up level your relationship with your children, this trine does it October 18th. And if you're, it could also be luck from one of your children and you're just excited for them. So there's a lot of ways that 5th house plays out. One of the other ways is your creative artistic. It's the house of the muse. Your muse is on steroids October 18th. And lastly, or give or take, 15th to the 21st of October, more precise on the 18th. And lastly, your independent business entrepreneurial enterprise belongs to the 5th house. If you are an entrepreneur, this is an amazing time for you. Whatever you're working on, Gemini entrepreneurs out there, this can really take off for you in a super positive way. All right, making sure my battery's not too low, guys. Give me a minute. No, I'm going to be fine. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising sign. Well, guys, this is the movement of Mars in a very subtle and very difficult place for you to actually get resourced or understand. It's like the 12th house to the 1st house, Cancer rising in particular, sun and moon as well, sort of. It's peripheral to your vision. It's an aversion in ancient astrology. Simply said, what's going on back here could be in your inner dream life, your meditations, your higher imagination, in your unconscious, all of that. Mars here is very well known to help you get rid of things that you shouldn't be doing, particularly addictions and self-sabotaging habits and patterns. Mars here can also show you who your enemies are, particularly ones that you thought were your friends, but don't turn out to have some grudge against you. And they can be quite visible as Mars spends so much time here, and you may have the need to eliminate those people. Mars is the god of accidents. And for some of you Cancer, this is to be cautious. The 12th is a house of hospitals. So just be very careful. Of course, don't be careful for 8 months about your health and accidents, just a possible concern. All right, that's all. I think that because you are also experiencing a karmic clearing, because this is a house of past lives and it's activating the 6th house of karmic debt, a lot of you are really undoing once in a lifetime opportunity, Cancer rising in particular, but sun and moon, to undo, get rid of, release, surrender, let go, let God, a lot of karmic junk in your trunk, whatever you want to call it, past life habits, get some regressions, clear this stuff out. In the fall, Mars will be spending a lot of time in a gnarly square to Neptune. That would be the ideal time for you to do past life regression work. God of hypnosis, Neptune. In the meantime, let's talk about happy stuff. October 18th, you're going to have that glorious trine from Venus and Libra at 24 degrees, and in a beautiful trine to Mars in Gemini at 24 degrees, on beautiful fixed star Spica, Fortuna, and Volcano, sudden lucky opportunity and growth. Yay! And Allen and Lamb, one of the lucky stars of Orion's belt, is where Mars is sitting. So it's luck upon blessings upon blessings between the 15th and the 21st of October, but precisely on the 18th. And those have to do with home, your real estate, your house, where you live, your domestic private life, people in your home. Okay, Venus there could be a very, like a celebrity visits you, or your most beloved friend or a sister comes to stay with you in October, or something to do with family of origin or mother stuff having a really positive development. But it could be very practical, because Venus is often luxury possessions in your home. Do you get to buy, a beautiful new bed? That's the most amazing thing. Do you have the money to buy your favorite desired possession to put in your home? It could be a bit bigger than that because of the spike a bit. If you're selling a home, this is a dream offer. If you're buying a home, this is a dream opportunity, because real estate and property is the 4th house. So no matter which way you slice it, because the Mars in the 12th activates the 8th house of bank loans and mortgages in a flowing way. For some of you, Cancer, rising, sun, and moon, it has to do with a very lucky financing, property, real estate idea concept. Okay, we'll be doing much more in-depth stuff around these themes in another video with other astrologers, but let's just get the lightweight touch through and keep on going. Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. So for you guys, this is the energy of the movement of Mars for 8 months, August the 20th, goodness gracious, through to March 25th, once in a lifetime opportunity for Mars to end, clear, separate, and clean up your 11th house. Wow. First of all, what's that song? I want to think. It was that song about friendship. Well, anyway, I can't remember it now. It flitted in and out. Could be a Beatles song. Or Elton John, but it's about friendship. The 11th house is the house of all of your friendships, the ones that are good for you, the friends who are true allies, who have your back, who want to give you gifts and favors, who open opportunities and doors for you. These are also people that you consider to be tribal friends, like I belong to the community of astrologers, or you may belong to a group of yoginis, yoginis, or a collective of some belonging around a shared ideal or a shared hobby or something. So because of that, Mars is cleaning a house. He's cleaning it out. There will be the end of friendships and alliances and groups of belonging. Mars causes endings and new directions. So a lot of your friends could leave you or you leave them, but sometimes it's practical. You might be moving, they'd be moving, and it doesn't have to be about hardships and ill will, right? Mars up here can help you change and reform and redirect what your long range goals and visions are for your life. One of the other meanings of this house, what do you perceive you would desire to create in your 5 and 10-year plans? Mars is also streamlining that as well. This is the house of good spirit, and this is a place of positivity in the sky. And in that sense, I'd say that there's a woodpecker there. You're probably going to find that Mars can bring opportunities and good luck through men, especially because he represents the masculine principle. And so perhaps you will have some lucky breaks through men over the 8 months ahead. Opening up doors of opportunity. There is a woodpecker over there. Mars does rule your 9th house of foreign lands and travel. So men from foreign lands could be opening up a great deal of opportunity for you. And I would also mention, with Mars being the god of choices and decisions and all of that, you're making some big life change decisions around how you want to succeed in your life, because the 10th house is connected to the 11th. The 11th are the great gains financially and otherwise from your career path. It's kind of like how the 2nd house feeds the 1st. Well, the 11th will feed the 10th. And so, some of you are making life-changing decisions, no looking back, that will impact your career just as a result of this lineup. Now, we have lucky October 18th, amazeballs action with Venus sitting at 24 Libra in a trine to Mars at 24 of still moving direct at 24 degrees of Gemini. Now, this is a much longer story than the one-off because of his retrograde, but we're going to start with the basic, simple idea that something between the 21st of October and 15th and 21st of October, with a real pinpoint of the 18th, is bringing an incredible luck to you through siblings. That's where Venus is sitting, aunts, uncles, and cousins. Something you want to learn. things going on in your neighborhood or something online or something that is about communication and writing. Now, here's the thing. Venus is the goddess of sisters, and the 11th, third is the house of siblings. So definitely if you have a sister, your sister could be bringing good news to you as a Leo rising sun and moon, or some kind of good news is happening for a sister. If you are a Leo rising sun and moon with your 21 to 27 degrees of those signs, or the rising, or the sun, moon, and rising, this is a really precise yay. Venus with Spica, good luck, protection, success, Fortuna, great fortunes, and Volcana, sudden great fortunes can befall an aunt, uncle, cousin, sibling, third house people, likely female, but not necessarily, that are impacting things in your life, particularly also around what you're up to in your 11th house of your long range goals and visions. Let's make a story up. A sibling wins the lottery, and then you decide that she's sharing it with you, and you decide to quit your day job and found an ashram or something. All righty. Anything else I want to say for you guys? Don't forget, I'm keeping it short and sweet, because we'll do longer in-depth videos as this thing goes down over the months ahead. All right, so Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. Well, this energy for you is a very, very, very once in a lifetime career changing stuff. Now, if you're a student like my Virgo rising daughter with Mars spending 8 months in your career house, it's really about how you perceive your success through what kind of ambition you have and what kind of action you wish to take in the visible world, so that people can point and say, oh yes, you are Lori, you are an astrologer, you know. Maybe my daughter, you are a personal trainer. I don't know what she's going to be when she grows up. She's still in her last year of university. Well, we'll see what happens here. So there's a big realignment around things that we wish to be and become, and our reputation can change dramatically with the house of our status and reputation. Mars is making new directions up here that are pretty significant and once in a lifetime in terms of duration, really. Now, I don't know if you guys were alive because this is angular to you, but back in 2007, December, at a month, we had a retrogradation of Mars up here. And if you were old enough to remember, like you weren't a child, what was changing in your career, purpose, ambitions, energy back then, you may be able to get a handle on this a little bit more and understand what this is truly about. The other thing is that Mars can represent men or masculine people, and it's a house of career. So a lot of change can be happening in the career house with a male boss, a colleague, co-workers. Mars can be endings as well. So maybe there's a career path ending or even a significant job ending if it's something that you've been at for quite a while. With this energy, by the time it's over, by the time you get to like the end of this journey next March, you're going to be looking back at what looks like a massive decision or change of career path, or what you want to focus on as the purpose of your life. The good luck transit, which is available between the 15th and the 21st of October and peaking on the 18th, is being brought on in Venus in your possessions and money house. Now, hello for you. How sweet and wonderful can you, that is so effing good, excuse my language, because what that'll do is it's going to bring you into alignment with money, possessions, earnings, wealth in some way that's also aligned with purpose and career and reputation. And in this sense, Venus is going to bring really good stuff because she's on asteroid Fortuna, Volcano, and the lucky star Spica with Mars on Al Nalam. So this is some really lucky break regarding career, money, and all of that. Now, again, you could be ending a job and that's a lucky break because you got out. You could be starting a new career path, get a promotion, get more money. I don't know. It's all so exciting. Mars does rule your house of inheritance, and I will give you a tip. Just because some of you may inherit money, you've got Jupiter going through your inheritance house. So some of you Virgo risings are looking at bequeathments through a family member or a spouse. Especially when I say bequeathments from a spouse, it could be their money's picking up, but shared resources with a spouse is your 8th, or if you're separating from a spouse, this is your alimony, your severance, all that kind of stuff. But it looks really good for you around the 18th of the month. So you're able to get your hands on also some kind of, with Mars as the ruler of your 8th, maybe money that you're not earning per se, but you get a chunk of it, you know, or a loan or a mortgage or something like that. But also some of you will be potentially inheritance monies. Okay. All right. Anything else I want to say? No, but stay tuned for way more content on this extraordinary Mars transit. This is just a little lightweight touch, and we will get deeper into it as the months go on. Libra, sun, moon, rising sign. People, please, please, please know how important this is for you because of that Venus bit in the middle of October. We'll get to that shortly. In the meantime, the long story of Mars making change, new directions, action, decisions in your ninth house may have to do with your academic studies, with what you wish to teach or learn, with book publishing and the book publishing world, or with something to do with foreign shores and lands. And with all of that said, we have to add courts. Mars up here is like your defense lawyer or your prosecution lawyer battling on your behalf. So if you have outstanding legal issues or legal issues to resolve, Mars will help you win. Mars placed to win and is born to win and rule. So yay you. So he's going to go to battle for you, but of course you might just be in contest or battles legally. That's just an issue, right? That could happen. But we have some lucky transits with Mars in this part of the sky, especially in his station at 8 degrees, reminding you that things that are going on at that 8 degrees September 3rd are connected 3rd and 4th to what will be going on later on in January as he stations there again to go direct. I would say to you that this is a really good time for travel. If you've been feeling like you wanted to get a bit off on a journey, a pilgrimage, an adventure to foreign lands and shores, especially if it's extended, this is a two thumbs up, a Siskel and Ebert moment for you to do that and to love that you chose to do that. Or you could move to another land or a foreign shore person could come your way, something like that. Around the 15th to the 21st of October, a very rare, very beautiful energies picking up steam. Venus at 24 Libra, Mars will be at 24 Libra, Venus on fixed star Spica, super luck and protection and success. She's on Fortuna for good fortune, and fortune's changing, and volcano sudden. So sudden positive change in fortunes around you, your identity, your body, your perception of self, the way you look, the way you feel, your health. All of those are really like, yay, you, right, in that October timeframe. But then with Mars, it's coming through ninth house factors. Mars is on lucky star Al-Notak, one of the luckiest stars of the heavens. Lucky opportunity coming up in the November timeframe to take a journey to a foreign land. Lucky break in the court case, and you're going to prevail as the winner. A lucky development regarding romance, because this is a cosmic lovers in harmony energy, and because it's in the house of you and your Venus rule, this can be falling in love with somebody through legal court cases, through book publishing, through foreign shores, foreign countries, all of that from your natal birthplace usually. Lastly, there was something else I was going to say. Book publishing. Certainly, this is momentum. So if you're writing a book, great. But if you're trying to find an agent or seek out an editor or find a publishing house or whatever, those things are going to be picking up a lot of energy for you, Libra rising, sun and moon, especially if your rising sun and moon is between 19 degrees and 24 degrees or so. 21 degrees and 27 degrees of Libra, particularly sun, moon, or rising. This big lucky transit on the 18th of October with a window of a few days before and after is particularly powerful. All right. It's really going to kick in some extraordinary success for you. Scorpio, sun, moon, rising sign. So Scorpio people, this is a money house where Mars is. The 8th house is about your inheritances, your money from family of origin, wealth, legacy wealth, money from your spouse, spousal shared resources, alimony, palimony, all spousal support stuff, money from loans and investments, money from tax rebates, all that kind of government grants and stipends. Okay, got it, right? It's money you can get your hands on, but it's not really yours. It's not like your earnings and paycheck. Well, first of all, this is a game-changing, very rare transit for you, Scorpio. So, some of you will be coming into bequeathments. With Mars there, could also be having to dicker and battle and argue a bit with whoever, lawyers or other people involved, state matters coming into a bit of a fray here, no doubt about it. But nonetheless, it's still Mars doing his best. I'll talk to in another video about sect, but if you're born at night, Mars is your ally. So especially for your night babies, this is pretty positive. But Mars here can cut and sever like an inheritance, like he can represent an end of someone's, life that leads to the inheritance as well. One of the things here is that you can really eliminate, get rid of, and clean up your investments, your investment portfolio, your 401k, the way you deal with that kind of money. You could have some really great, important life changes of direction through leveraging money through bank loans or mortgages during this longer journey of Mars through this part of your sky from August 20th to next March, end of next March, really. Things that are happening around the 3rd of September and the 4th are things that will come back in January as this 8th degree, which is fixed star Aldebaran, is being activated. So there's a lot of this energy of success and what worldly success is being kicked in for you financially as a Scorpio rising, sun, or moon. The big lucky spot in the sky on October 18th is when Venus will trine this energy from 24 degrees of Libra, and that is your 12th house. And there is definitely money to be had, and Mars at 24 degrees of your 8th house, and possibly activating a change of home, a real estate endeavor of some sort, some kind of action regarding buying and selling of properties. And also that very lucky Venus, she's on Spica, the goddess of luck and success, and Fortuna for fortune, and Volcano for something sudden out of the 12th house. Backroom deals and negotiations will work out in your favor. Lawyers negotiating if it's about an inheritance, or backroom negotiations around with a mortgage broker. Just somehow in the October 15th to the 21st, right, with precision on the 18th, a lot of good money stuff is picking up a huge amount of momentum in your story. All right, that's best I can put it. If you do PayPal and Stripe processors and you have revenue from overseas, like I do, because I'm an entrepreneur, well, then this can also be a good time for you to pick up money that way. Venus, a money goddess in the 12th house. 12th house is 3rd from the 10th. It can represent kind of like traveling salesman, barter, and trade, spikes trade energy. And so therefore, in our modern day, I have observed it to be PayPal and Stripe payment processors. Okay, that's my discovery. It works that way. I don't know if anyone else has said that, but I find it to be true. Mars is the ruler, FYI. I don't do this to everybody, of your 6th house of health and work routines. And therefore, some of this developments in your finances are going to enable you to improve work, health, and habits and routines around your work and health as a result of especially the lucky vibe in the middle of October. Okay, guys, let's keep going. This is the teaser. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. I can't believe it's outside, but is my laptop dark or is it just me? I can hardly see you guys. So, all right, Sagittarius, let's get going here. Mars is obviously in your 7th house, as you can see. This is about your significant other. Usually it's your marriage partner or your long-term committed love relationship, monogamy, all that. And this person, it can be a business partner. It can be your audience. You're cutting away clients, audience, or business partners, or marriage partners are cutting away from you. Sometimes it means a gnarly, combative, argumentative, especially verbally, situation with a business or marriage partner, love partner. That's going to be quite 8 months long, difficult. Mars cuts, ends, severs, and snips, and your descendant is somewhere in here if you are especially are a Sag rising. So at whatever point Mars crosses that descendant, and maybe 3 times, it's like a 3-part death and of a relationship. And it's not an easy transit when Mars goes there once every 2 years for only 6 or 7 weeks, let alone 8 months. So if you're a Sag and you're in a difficult relationship, you're going to need to get some marriage counseling or something like that, or a business partnership counseling if this is going to be usable by you as a positive transit. At the end of the day, this can mean your partner cutting away as well. I don't want to scare you. I'm just telling you what it looks like. Okay. And then the other thing, though, positively, Mars is heroic, ambitious, and determined and passionate energy. Could be that your partner is acting that way and you're really glad for them that they got their fire on, even though it's air fire, but they're on their game, right? Air fire, air fryer. And I think this is positive for your partner. If they're using Mars that way and they're, going whole on Hercules for it with what's happening here. There's a really lucky triangle of goodness called a trine between Venus at 24 Libra and Mars at 24 Gemini, as I said, for every sign. Wow, this is going to be a very positive transit for you because Venus is in a positive house, a lucky house, the 11th house of good spirit, and she's able to witness Mars at 24 degrees in your 7th house. For your marriages and business partnerships on the rocks, this can be a mending energy through friends, allies, and other people, especially women in your larger social groups, helping to soothe the waters of that thing. That's October 15th to October the 21st with an epicenter around the 18th. Now, Venus is definitely a lucky planet, and she's in her home sign, and she's in a luck house. So there can be some lucky breaks, especially since Mars is the ruler of your house of lotteries, casinos, jackpots, winning at the horse races, independent business, speculative investments. Okay. So for some of you Sagittarius, you're going to have a boom of luck around money. If that is going to happen, yay you. What can you say? It's just there. Mars also rules the house of children and romance, and some good things could be happening romantically or with your children as a result of this October timeframe around the 18th of the month. If you're a Sag rising, especially sun or moon secondarily, between the degrees of 21 and 27 degrees. This is going to be a particularly intense bout of yay you. Great luck on the 18th of October. So look forward to that. Watch for my other videos coming up as we parse all of the grungy details of this Mars transit through for the world and all signs, probably with a group of astrologers on a panel with me to have a lot of fun. I might even pull in a really funky tarot reader and we'll have a real blast. I might even do it live, something I don't normally do. So stay tuned for that. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising. Well, this is your story of Mars in your natal 6th house, which is your work and health routines, and also colleagues and co-workers, karmic debt and real debt like credit card debt, bank loans. Mars will help you eliminate debt the best he can, cut it away as he moves in these 8 months through your 6th house, but he will also get you to figure out how to move that body or do exercise or eliminate foods or things in your life that are not contributing to your better health. Also, there could be big changes in your workplace, whether it's co-workers moving or leaving, or you're the boss and you're leaving, I don't know, or you're firing people. Mars is the god of firing. Some people might be getting fired in your workplace. You may be firing them, you may be fired, but if you're fired, Capricorn, it's for your best good. Trust me, it's all good. I mean, Mars is the ruler of your 4th house. He also rules Scorpio, but he's in aversion to that during this transit, so I'm not talking about that. But he is the ruler of your 4th house, so you could change your home or your real estate or your property and move as a result of the sustained transit sextiling your 4th house of home. And I would say to you as well, with this super lucky transit of Venus in your 10th house, oh my God, around the 18th of October, but between the 15th and 21st, promotions, raises, someone hands you the golden key to the highest level of success that you can attain in your career path. So this is looking like a real amazing window in October around the 18th for some success in your work. Like it's big. Like if you wanted that new job or that promotion and you're thinking you weren't going to get it and that you're waiting for it, this would be that moment of yay you. I mean, Venus is on, you know, Spica, luck and protection, on the asteroids Volcanus and Fortuna. So it's like a volcanic explosive good fortune coming at you. And Mars on lucky Lunatic in the house of the workplace and work routines. Such a good breakthrough for your work. There's no other way to put it. Some good news is happening here. Now, it could even be being able to break away from your job or your work because Mars is down there eliminating and ending, but with a massive buyout or severance package or something like that, because it's both a financial and reputation bonus, and it's just all so good. I mean, it's just all so good. Aquarius, sun, moon, rising sign. Well, guess what? You guys are having this transit of Mars in the house of romance, the house of your children, the house of your creativity, your independent business, entrepreneurial enterprise, the house of all of that stuff, 5th house. Now, I use me in the beginning because I have my IC there and it caused a move. But for most of you Aquarius, it won't cause a move unless the root of your sky is there. So instead, it would be your children are moving, your children are moving out of the home, you're moving away from your children, you're ending a romantic relationship, or one is taking off and it's becoming super passionate and very hot and sexual, and things are really sizzling here. If you are involved in creativity, any kind of arts, including writing, you're on fire, you're passionate, especially because Mars rules the house of writing, your 3rd house. So all of a sudden, like you're game on, right? You're like, I'm going to write that novel. I'm going to write that proposal. I'm going to write that strategy paper. I'm going to write, just write like crazy. So you're passionate, you're focused in your independent enterprise. You're on your game, basically. Now, there is the possibility here with Mars going through here, of something being eliminated that is you need to get rid of, that is a fifth house thing. Now, fifth house can be leisure activities, leisure habits, pleasure habits. And so sometimes, like Mars going through the second is often getting rid of bad foods or things you put in your mouth. But Mars in the fifth can be getting rid of excess indulgence, right? Like it's okay to have a glass of wine with dinner, not 3. It's okay to have a cigar now and then, not 1 every day. So Mars can eliminate excessive pleasures or indulgences or excessive leisure activities that may be not needed, like a massage once a week, but not every day. I'm just sort of saying, just saying. On the other hand, Mars is the god of massage, and he's going through here. So a lot of you will take up massage as an enjoyment as well, because it's in the house of joy. So, well, the good news is that October the 18th, so the 21st, the 21st, sorry, the 18th to 21st, or 15th to 21st, but the 18th is exact, a spectacular bit of luck is befalling you, as Venus will be sitting with the good luck star Spica at 24 degrees of Libra, along with asteroid Fortuna for fortune and Volcano for sudden and eruptive. And they will be forming a beautiful trine to Mars at 24 degrees. So back to the book publishing stuff. If you're writing something, this is getting the agent, the editor, something good is perking up for you around the 18th of October. We'll come back in January. So it's step 1 of a longer story. Secondly, the other thing you're going to notice is that this can be about trips and adventures, Mars's favorite thing to do, to foreign lands and foreign shores. And so for some of you on October 18th, you buy the ticket, you plan the trip, you take the trip, and there's a huge amount of fortune and luck involved in this, and maybe romance as well. The cosmic lovers are flowing together, and it could involve a trip to a foreign land. So if that's something you want to do, or with the one you're already with, and up the romance with the one you're with, love the one you're with, this is going to look really good and very, very exquisitely, extraordinarily fortunate for you. If you're in a legal battle and court cases or things like that, this works out in your favor. Mars will trine Venus, the god of luck, in the house of courts. Yay, you, the middle of October, things go your way. And I would also add that you have a particularly flowing relationship between Venus and Mars, because they are both in what's called a trine to your identity and your ascendant. This makes you especially fortunate, especially lucky. Now, yes, I've been saying, between 21 degrees, between 21 and 27 degrees is very intense for Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising, but all of Aquarians are going to feel it one way or another. So it kind of blesses your body, your identity, your sense of well-being. Venus is an applied trine to your identity, your body, your health, where Mars is, championing things from the house of good luck. It's such an exquisite time for all of you amazeballs Aquarians like me during the middle of October. And last but always never least, our Pisces folk. Is how many of us astrologers say that to you poor guys? Last but not least. Okay, Pisces, let's get talking here. Mars is moving through your 4th house. If you are a Pisces rising especially, and you think you're not moving in the next 8 months, you're wrong. You are moving. Now, the only alternative is you're constructing a new addition to your home. You're tearing your home down. You're renovating your home. But Mars down there is a lot of shit going on about your home. And if you are, fighting in your home, conflict in your home. I remember a Capricorn friend of mine, that 6-month transit of Mars through Aries through his 4th house. Oh, I said, you're going to have a lot of conflict in your home. His wife and his roommate actually started beating each other up physically. I mean, like, oh, you can't make this poop up. So all of a sudden, your kids or your spouse or somebody who lives in your home, and you usually get along, well, watch out. So 8 months of conflict in the home could happen. The healthier expression is you're industrious, purposeful, and directed in and from your home. You're changing and moving your home, or you're renovating and constructing in your home, okay? And with all of that said, because Mars is the ruler of your 2nd house, this is also connected to your possessions and your earnings and your money. Now, the house is a possession, so buy or sell a home, gain or lose a possession. But also you may find that things you're doing in your home with passionate, purposeful direction can help fortify and increase and flow towards cash and earnings for you. Yay, you! Yay, Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. even connecting September 3rd and 4th to developments in January would be a good idea, because January 12th does connect to September 3rd and 4th. So things going on regarding themes of home will reconnect to later developments in January. Now, the good luck transit is Venus in the sign of Libra at 24 degrees, unlucky star Spica, asteroid Fortuna for fortunes, and volcano for sudden eruptions of fortune and goodness in your 8th house of inheritances, legacy wealth, your partner's mutual resources they share with you, business or marriage. This can be tax rebates. This could be getting a great bank loan or mortgage, or having a bank or credit card company or mortgage company eliminate a debt, working with you in some way. You know, consumer ways they do that, I don't know. And you're going to get this energy of this Venus looking at Mars in the 4th house of real estate and home. So no doubt about it. Mortgages and liens, and mortgages and financing is the 8th house. So I would say around October the 18th, but 15th to the 21st, look for developments and themes of home, real estate, loans, mortgages, bequeathments, inheritance monies, spousal monies, and all of that. It's very, very, very lucky, because even Mars is on Alnitak, one of the 3 stars of Orion's belt that's lucky. So if you're a rising Pisces, especially, but Sun and Moon secondarily, between the degrees of 21 and 27, this is like pin the tail on the donkey. It's really hitting you particularly strongly. With Mars angular to your rising sign, you may be resisting the change regarding your home. You may be unsure about the changes in your home. Lastly, for some of you, this can be separating out your financial resources from your marriage partner or significant other. Why? Because Mars is squaring your identity, squaring the descendant, which is your marriage partner. And the angularity here can look like divorce and negotiations, but things working financially in your favor around the middle of October, where you're getting your share, rewards, or just due in the division of assets, resources, and maybe spousal support, or maybe inheritance monies as well. All right, so I am rolling out of this story. Like and subscribe, hit my bell for notifications, and I'm going to go inside. I can't believe there's no mosquitoes out here. It's been mosquito central, and I'm going to decompress with maybe more water. Timestamp this video. Patreon community gets it first. Ha! This is August the 9th, and I'm doing this recording. It's probably going to be on YouTube on the 11th or the 12th. Thank you guys for listening this long. Please like, subscribe, check out my description box below. You know the drill. I'll see you in the next video, which will be coming out. I think I'm going to do a video. I don't even know what I'm doing next. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Ciao, ciao.